Meet Helena, an artist and designer from Newcastle. Helena shares her home with 3 male companions, Gordon, Shy Boy, and Tony, a fellow artist. That's right, Tony, it seems, is something of a Rembrandt in rat's clothing.
I've had Tony 11 months now, so I guess he's middle-aged, I think, for a rat.
If you're finding the concept of a rat that's an artist a little bit abstract, Helena explains just how she discovered Tony's talent.
The first time I thought he had a creative talent was when I came across a piece of vintage newspaper that he'd cut with his teeth. Initially I was upset by the fact he'd damaged the newspaper, but I realised he'd been quite selective in the section that he'd cut away and the way he'd cut it. And I was able to appreciate it, and I thought he'd actually given new life to what would have been just filed away and forgotten.
A bit of a renegade, this rat shuns the use of paintbrush and easel, favouring a more experimental approach to his work.
He might use a cleaning sponge if it happens to have fallen on the ground. The one time he was able to use clay, then he did.
And it seems not only does Tony display signs of a budding Botticelli, but he's also adopted the famous artistic temperament.
I've described Tony as having a Greta Garbo type of personality because he enjoys sharing the house with the other 2 boys, but he does like to steal himself away to other parts of the house and to be alone.
Seems Tony's a little ratty in the mornings. Not only does Helena share her home with Tony, the 2 artists also share a studio space where Tony's imagination can quite literally run wild. Oh, it's off. Probably just in search of inspiration. That boy spied some crumbs in the corner. Examples of Tony's work are proudly displayed on the walls of the studio.
This 4-leafed clover, he chewed off the 4th leaf. That to me is asking the question, is it still lucky?
Or was he just hungry?
In June of last year, he ran across all the wet tiles and left his paw prints in them, and I thought that was rather an attractive idea. So we've since collaborated.
Now it's time to see the artist at work.
I'll take him over to the table. Oops. I'm going to encourage him to run towards his house. Let's see if it works. Yep, there he goes. Yay! He's got lovely deep impressions there.
Oh, so he's an impressionist then.
It's a hard day's work for a rat.
Helena is not the only one to have noticed Tony's talent. This remarkable rodent is taking the art world by storm, as ratified by art impresario Craig Wilson.
We've 2 pictures. They are of an avocado that this rat has been working on. They're at different stages of development, if you like. The first one still has the stone in the middle and is kind of like probably about half eaten, but if you get up very close you can see some quite fine marks. It's kind of like a Van Gogh. The brush strokes and the kind of of a Van Gogh are very similar to the kind of gnawings and scratchings of the rats.
So where Van Gogh had his sunflowers, Tony savours the avocado.
I wouldn't necessarily compare him genius-wise to someone like Van Gogh, but certainly the technique's similar.
And both had an insatiable appetite for their work. But while your average Van Gogh goes for around 100 million, Tony's pieces fetch a more modest price. The avocados go for a tasty £800, while the tiles sell for £99 per set. Prices not to be sniffed at.
This has got very mixed reactions. Some people kind of think it's ridiculous that an animal should be making art, or that something done by an animal should be considered art, and other people are absolutely, really enthused by it. So it's drawn a whole gamut of reactions, but then good art always does.
So, what's next in the illustrious career of Tony the artist rat?
I'd like Tony to keep working and producing more stuff, because he has I'd say about 20 pieces, and it would be nice for for him to at least triple that.
Despite Tony's increasing fame as an artist, it is clear that to Helena he is also a much beloved pet, and their unique relationship is a real work of art.